Hey guys, Dave here. I wanted to put together this video to show something that a trader that I'm coaching now just went through, and I think showing you how what happened here and how you can handle this when it comes up in your own back testing, I think would be a big help. So we ran this back test and this data was coming up in alt, which looked really weird. So, I was running this across all the symbols, and what we noticed was there were some profits that were just extreme outliers. So really big profits compared to what was normal in the back test, really big losing profits compared to what was normal in the back test. And when you go and look, like for example, look at this. You see the entry price of 50 for alt in September of 2010, exit price of 1. Well, that's kind of odd. So let me show you what it looks like on the chart, and you'll see a little bit more about what's going on here. So when you click through to any of these, it's going to scroll right back to that entry, and you see it doesn't look like a normal chart here. You've got a whole bunch of ticks at the bottom, got a whole bunch of ticks at the top. They don't even look like bars. So this is sort of a classic sign of some bad data, some bad ticks. So let me show you how to identify this real quickly in Amibroker. So you can bring up the quote editor, and that's going to bring up the latest bars in alt or whatever your currently selected symbol is that are in your database. So you can scroll back and look, but there's millions of bars here. How do you find exactly which one you want to look at? So the way to do this, a clever way to do that here. So you can click on the chart, and you see it's this blue line. So now that bar is selected in Amibroker. And now you can click on this go to selected. That's going to take you right to that exact bar, whatever you've selected here. So now I can see, okay, there's obviously some bad data here because here's a bar, the 947 bar is 50, looks sort of reasonable. But then 958's 1.5. And it's sort of toggling back and forth. So you can see that, okay, these are obviously bad ticks, and you want to be able to prevent those from showing up in the back test. One thing you can do for that is you can just exclude alt for that period, and that's totally something you can do. So that's one option here. I'll show you the code for that. So here's some bad tick exclusion. I can put a whole list of things in here. And now I can do this. Save it, run my back test again, and I should have those missing now. You can see that those trades are missing. There's no more $50 trades, and that makes sense. So that's one thing you could do. Another thing you can do here is you can go back. So this data is back in 2010. Well, you don't really need, you could just delete this data from this point backwards, and then you still have over a decade's worth of data for all. There may be some trades since then that makes sense to take. One of the things you could do is we could scroll up a little bit and say delete everything before a certain date. Let me show you how to do that. So you're looking at all the bars here. Let's just go to the end of September. Like the last bar in September. We can scroll down all the way to the end, use the shift key, select the last one, and now click delete. And that'll delete everything before that time. So now you can run a back test again and just have it running on the good data. So that's another approach you could take. This is a pretty common thing, and it's a lot of times if you put just a minimum average volume filter, it excludes a lot of this garbage that you see. The problem is sometimes you want to like this symbol will have gone through periods where there's some garbage, but there are some periods in its history where it makes sense to include it in a backtest. So just thought I'd share this with the group. Let me know if you have any questions or have any thoughts about this. Kind of an interesting problem. Hopefully this helps you with your backtesting.